Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to this exciting webinar. I want to welcome all of you for attending. We are 1 minute or 2 minutes away. We're waiting for more people to jump in as they coming in. Welcome. Good evening, welcome. Waiting for a couple more people to go in, to come in, but I want to welcome you to this webinar. This is the first in a series of webinar. Um, we will build a business together using AI tools. This is in listen only mode. So I am asking you to raise your hand if you have a question. But we'll do it together. We'll be like a family, and we will try to get this going. Um, I'm getting some messages from other means, so let me guide those people in real quick. Welcome. All right. The very first, I'm going to first introduce myself. My name is Messman Augustine. Before I go, can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, just drop a one on the chat. If I get one, that would be awesome. All right, awesome. We got a thumbs up. Thank you for confirming that you can hear me. I am Messman Augustine. I hold several meetup groups. I am a software developer by trade, but I'm also a businessman. I've been running kind of my own business for about 12, 13 years now. So I am a tech enthusiast. So I'm always interested in having technology, explore technology. But this AI thing is different. It's not just something to explore and see, but it's something to jump on. So before we continue, I'd like to I like to start a poll to see who do we have in the room. Please don't stay quiet. I'm gonna start a poll. So that way, the first poll will be whether you are a business owner or not, whether you plan to start a business, whether you started a business, whether you will start a business, whether you've been in business for a while, or whether you don't have business. Okay, so we have awesome. So we have, I would say, almost 2/3 of you either have started a business or plan to start a business. So that's good. That's good. Those of you who have not responded or who have not started a business, perhaps this is a good training for you. This is a good webinar for you. So that's good to know. So second poll I'm going to put is whether or not you are used to AI. Is this your first goal? You just saw this post somewhere, on WhatsApp, on Facebook, somewhere, in the meetup group, and then you say, well, let me come and see. Are you somebody who don't even have never heard about AI, or who's in the middle of the way, or who knows some AI, who knows a lot of AI? So that way we can kind of curtail our audience to see who we have. Okay, good. Okay, the majority of you have some kind of AI exposure. That's good. That's good. The rest of you still have time to answer. I will not close the polls, but you can answer, whenever you're ready. All right, awesome. So we are 5 minutes into it. I know some other people are gonna come and catch up on this training, but let's get going for the ones who are here. Thank you. Thanks again for being here. I appreciate it. So let's get going. So I don't like to do PowerPoints. I think PowerPoints are boring. So I like to do real-time live. Let's discuss it. Let's talk it through. So I will share my screen. I like to take notes on the notepad, and I like to kind of instruct with a notepad. So give me a thumbs up if one person give me a thumbs up if you see my screen or if you see my notepad. All right, I got some thumbs up. I got a hand being raised. I'm assuming that's a thumbs up. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, awesome. So as you can see, I use Notepad++ instead of regular Notepad, but to me, it's a big difference. So I'm gonna try to give these little tips, from throughout the meeting, of my own workflow, not only as a businessman but as a developer, and I'm hoping to learn from you as well. So first tip, first sauce, like they call it, is I like to use Notepad++ instead of regular Notepad because it does so much more. Okay, so I'm all with the intro with the with the overview and understanding who's in the audience. I'd like to talk about kind of AI in general. From what I know, AI has been around for a while. I'm gonna try to stay away from the technical terms. I'm gonna try to stay away from the welcome those of you who are coming in. Continue. You haven't missed a lot. We just did the polls and the introduction. If you can answer the poll, that would be nice. So the AI has been in for a while, has been there for a while. Again, I'm not gonna go into the detail who has been using it and what form that is in. I'll try to stay away from the technical part, being this is a business meeting. But it's only in the last couple of years AI has been, kind of been open to what I would say the public, kind of the general public, only with the company that's called OpenAI. Right now, there's a new term in our vocabulary, which is ChatGPT. So OpenAI kind of, bursted all open on AI. So AI, for those of you who don't know or who are new, is artificial intelligence, not normal intelligence, not what I would say, not your typical intelligence, but artificial intelligence. And as we know, everything that is artificial is something that is made, that is man-made, we could say. Welcome those of you who are coming in. Keep coming in. There are 2 polls, there if you want to answer them, so that way I know your experience level in terms of AI, and also whether you plan to start or initiate a business. Feel free to answer them. Again, this is a webinar. It's a listen only webinar. Just because there's so many of you, I don't want everybody to talk at the same time. But feel free to use the Q&A box to throw your questions, and I will answer them accordingly throughout the period. Okay, so 2 years for a while, 2 years open with the public, with the company that's called OpenAI, and OpenAI started what we call ChatGPT. Now, until recently, many people, I would say even now, many people use ChatGPT just to do what I would call some normal activities, right? ChatGPT, what is the fastest distance from my house to there, right? ChatGPT, give me a recipe for this food or that food, right? So those of you who are new to AI, ChatGPT has a lot of utilities, right? If you have never even registered, because we have many different people in the audience, I'm gonna go through the whole full bang. I've already registered, but I'll go through, if you were to in the process of registering, what does that mean? So in the webinar today, I will attempt to use about 3 to 4 AI tools based on my experience, but there are hundreds. I mean, since that 2 years, everything got open. Now there's, I would say thousands, hundreds to thousands. What I would say, very useful AI tools. It kind of become like a like a mishmash of all the tools. There's tools coming out so much that people kind of confused. And I think it's good that we are talking today, that we are training, so that we can have out of the noise, we can sip to see what is it specifically that can potentially help me. I'm gonna open my camera a little bit just to show you that I'm not AI, because there are some AI creating AI to provide AI training. So I'm not AI. I'm a real person. Some of you perhaps may have met me, in different webinar or meetup contexts. I'm in the tri-state South Florida area. So I've been around for a while. Like I mentioned, I've been a developer for 25 years, and I have my business about 12, 13 years. So I'll just open my screen. I don't like to be on camera much, but it is a real person talking to you behind the picture. So as there are AI that creates AI, I'm not one of them. I'm not an avatar. I'm a real AI. So just wanted to share my screen so I can say hello formally as a real person. Okay, so any questions so far? Any comments? Anything that you yourself about AI? Even though you're on mute, I'd like this to be very interactive. So any initial questions on the first 15 minutes? All right. So yeah, if you have any questions, just post it in the chat so that way we can answer them as they come in. All right, awesome. So there's a confusion, there's thousands of AI tools, what do I do? How do I go? The thing is, you might go crazy with trying to learn so many things, and before one thing comes, the next thing just pop out, right? Before one model comes, the other one comes out, so it becomes like an amalgam, like a very big noise. So our purpose tonight and throughout this webinar series is to talk about business, right? So you can use as many AI tools as you want, but I think if you are not really focused on a particular approach or have AI help you in a particular way, I think it's going to become very, very, very confused for you. So I think this is why we're having this webinar. Welcome those of you who just came in. Again, the Q&A for you to chat with me and the team, the polls to tell me your experience, but welcome each one of you who's jumping in. Okay, so out of all these many AI tools, let's talk about business, right? How can AI help in my business? If many of you either starting a business, many of you are interested to start a business, or some of you are already running your own business, right? So each categories, we can say can have their own AI tool. But let's talk through, and then feel free to jump in and chat and let me know, what you think, based on the approach. So for you to start a business, it starts with an idea. No business start with an idea, right? It's an idea that you have, that you want to do something, that you want to solve a problem, that you want to, I don't know, that you want to resolve the world crisis, or you want to make money, right? You want to make money. By the way, this webinar is free. I don't expect you to pay me anything or to give me anything or to do anything. There's no expectation. I just like to chat and share my knowledge, and then learn from other business leaders. Okay, so beyond the idea, and please feel free again to jump in and chat, send me your chat. So beyond the idea, there is also planning, right? Because if you start with your idea, you never come up with a plan. It's just an idea. It remains that, right? 100% of the ideas that you have who has not been started is a failed idea, right? And some people don't like to share ideas. They're like, well, I don't know if anybody, can steal my idea. I'm going to keep it secret. Instead of trying to find help and trying to find co-founders and other people to help them, they say, it's my idea. I'm going to stay with it. I'm going to try to do it alone. If I make it, I make it. Well, the world now is much more open. And believe me, there isn't any idea that you have that somebody has not thought of, right? And with AI now, I mean, practically, nobody has like a original idea. Okay, so we'll cover that. We are going through kind of the talk, and then we're gonna get very, very practical, right? Okay, so beside the idea and the planning, you have to execute, right? So you have to actually do the work that comes along with the idea. You can have the idea, you plan it for 2 years, 3 years, 6 years, 10 years, all your life, and you never execute, you never take one step, right? And this is very important because that's one of the areas where AI is going to help your business, right? Beforehand, executing an idea might have to take 2 years. But now, I mean, through this maybe 6, 7 webinars, we're going to see that, well, instead of 2 years, it may take me months or even days, right? So we'll talk through it. So after your execution of the idea, of course, you need to market the idea, right? So you build it, it's nice, it's beautiful, it works. You have that restaurant, or you have that t-shirt making business, or so on and so forth, but nobody knows about it, right? It's the big, beautiful, I don't know, car that you built, or phone that you built, or model that you built, but nobody knows about it. So you have to market it, right? You have to market it. Not only you have to market it, but you have to monetize it, right? You have to know how to make money of that idea, and then it'll be rinse and repeat, right? Until you get the next idea, and then you start making money. Here, of course, there is growth, either before or after monetization. You can start making $10 and then you grow it to 20, 30, 50, 40, 100, 6-figure business, 8-figure business. That's what we all would like to, right? Eventually at the end of the day. So we have enough money, to live a good life ourselves with our family. So I am pausing now for questions or input. And also I'm going to throw a question out there to see which idea, or if you have an idea you want to share, or a couple of ideas. Let's say, do you have any ideas you would like to share? So if you have any idea you'd like to share, you can post it to the group, post it here. Somebody said a website. Okay, good. Somebody said a clinic. Okay, good. Okay, more ideas coming in. Someone A vending machine, okay, all right. I mean, some of them are very practical ideas and money making. I guess we'll learn together how AI can help, some of the non digital ideas, right? Uh, okay, let's see. Keep them coming. Keep the ideas coming. Somebody would like to open a school. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Interesting. An e-commerce website. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, I mean there is so many ideas to kind of you know think about here. What I see in the group. Um, I don't want to play favoritism and pick one. Since we are in the AI age, how about we let AI do the talk? Okay. So we'll go through AI, right? And while we are going through the different AI tools, we'll see how AI can help us, right? So I'm gonna play the role of the person who has no idea, right? And then as we go along, then you can adapt whatever we're finding through this webinar, then you can adapt it to your own business, right? Because I see so many different input here. Some of them are very good ideas. Again, some people don't like to share because they think, oh my God, if I share this idea, people might steal it and people might go and get the money, instead of me. So, okay, all right. So, I'm gonna begin this as somebody who knows nothing about any ideas. So the first tool that obviously is the most popular that we're going to talk about or introduce is ChatGPT. Okay, so ChatGPT, this is the most popular. Any little kid you talk to, you hear they say ChatGPT, ChatGPT, ChatGPT. Again, ChatGPT is made by a company called OpenAI. You can go to chatgpt.com. You can register, like sign in with your Google account. And ChatGPT is free. As a matter of fact, for the 2 years I've been working with AI, I've not paid for ChatGPT yet. Now, I've paid for other AI tools that you are going to find out soon, but ChatGPT itself, I've not paid for ChatGPT because I don't feel the need yet to pay for it. Because there are some tools that I found some items from them that are as equally good as paid ChatGPT. Now, I have clients who paid for ChatGPT to use things like their API, right? They don't pay for this interface, but they pay for the API. Again, I'm gonna keep away from the technical stuff, but an API is you don't want to come here and type the thing yourself, but you want to use, I don't know, code or some other tool, to connect to it behind the scene. So that's why they call it an API, which is an application programming interface. So you use some other tools to interface with ChatGPT. All right. So how many of you, and I'm gonna ask and put your hands up or type of one, how many of you have used or seen ChatGPT? Maybe I should do a poll. Let's see. How many have used ChatGPT? All right, we got one person. Okay, so let me put here from 1 to 10. How many of you are let's see the votes. I mean, how much have you used it? How little have you used it? Okay, the polls are coming in. So we have some upper level users of ChatGPT. Some people are not entering, but we have okay, a lot of people have used ChatGPT. Okay, some people have raised their hands, some people have answered the poll. Okay, good. Okay, so at least it's not brand new to most of you. Okay, so let's go back to the business. So the business starts with an idea. So one concept I'm going to talk about, and then again, this webinar will be recorded. It will be sent to your email or to the method that you register, so that way you can review it anytime. You can share it. So ChatGPT has a paid component, what they call Plus, which is like in the 20 boxes, 25. They have another component that is higher range. I would suggest that you start from free. Those of you who in the poll said you have not used it, I would say start for free, right? Don't do anything crazy, buy the big package, and So with artificial intelligence, back to my notepad, with artificial intelligence, there is what they call a dialogue, right? At least with this initial form of AI. And that dialogue, for the most part, is called a prompt, right? That word is very, very important. So you prompt the AI for something, it gives you back something. But it goes beyond the prompt now, because now you can have full-blown dialogue, even voice dialogue with ChatGPT, right? I don't know if my voice will work while we do the microphone, but let's see. Maybe let's see here. Maybe I can use the voice and see whether it works. Let's see if I can use voice mode. Oh, ChatGPT. Yeah, I don't know if you hear. I mean, you may be hearing to my mic, but it is constantly answering. It is answering. So this is one of the modes that you can use ChatGPT for free. You can talk to it, right? So I'm gonna cancel this. I'm gonna start again. So I go to here. I go to this interface and I click the dictation mode. Okay. So, and then you can see it writes the dialogue. So it is a dialogue, right? So I can say hello. That would be a prompt, and then ChatGPT will answer back. And then I would say something like, "How are you today?" So those of you who are advanced in AI, bear with us as we walk the other people up to speed, to communicating and things like that, right? So I would say, "How are you?" And then it would answer back, like normally. Now, a lot of people, when I do training with AI, they actually think, I don't know, there's somebody on the other side, or because the way the AI talk to him, that the AI is human. So just on the tech side, I'll say AI is not human, right? AI, as far as I know until today, AI cannot feel. AI cannot, I don't know, feel those emotions, right? But through the dialogues, you're gonna feel that I'm actually, I'm kind of actually talking to somebody, right? I'll go further when we go to the other various tools. We'll go further on what that means, right? Because some people even give their AI, a name, right? They give their ChatGPT a name, right? So, okay, so let's continue. Let's continue with the focus on business, right? So, ChatGPT, I would like to start a business, but I have no idea what business to start. I'd like to make a lot of money. Can you provide me maybe with 10 to 20 suggestions on what business I could start? I don't have a lot of money to start the business, but I would like to be successful. So as we can see, the dictation, right? So dictation goes forward, right? And then we can post it. So I ask it for 15 to 20, it gives me 15. Now, just before we go further, artificial intelligence tools understands context, right? Context means if I had a previous conversation with it, it would remember who I was. Now, I don't know, because I'm doing this on my own account. I don't know if it's gonna remember it is me, Mesman, who's doing this conversation. because I started a brand new chat, so that way it doesn't remember the context. But I see some of the ones that it gives me, are kind of like technology driven type thing, right? So ChatGPT, I was going to say he, but I don't know if it's a he, if it's a she, if it's a it, I don't know. I don't know what ChatGPT is going to be to you. But okay, so 15 practical ideas, right? So this is me again in gray, right? This is me talking in gray. This is ChatGPT responding. This is what I call the prompt, right? What is called the prompt. And this is what ChatGPT responded on what I can do. So let's look at some of them, and then perhaps you guys can let me know. Let's look at all of them, and then so we can see. So an AI powered freelancing business. Okay, so that seems a little bit technical. Okay, a niche affiliate website or blog. Okay, I can start a blog. That's very doable. I mean, if you know, if you have things to talk about, if you are expert in something in particular, if you are interested in a particular niche, like you might be a dog lover, or you know how to provide care to pets, or if you're interested, or you know about affiliate program. So that number 2 might be a good one. A YouTube automation channel. Everybody has a YouTube channel now. Everybody wants to start a YouTube channel. It's a very competitive landscape. Channel, depending on the channel, may take time to grow. Should we choose this as our idea? Let's see. Let's read all of them, and then we'll come back. A course or coaching on a skill that you know. That's what I was talking about. So you speak many languages and you want to start a coaching business, perhaps, or you know how to play the piano, or you've been a teacher or some kind of instructor, right? So that's an idea. Drop service. Okay, so this seems, again, digital and online. So let's look at the ones that are product based. You can sell ebooks or printables. Okay. You can run around, like, and shop and clean for people, organizing. It's more like, Uber and the likes. Okay. A mobile car detailing and a pressure washing. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. I didn't see anybody with that suggestion in the chat, so that may be one we come back to. A pop-up food or drink stand. Okay, that's a good one. I think those two are pretty good. Okay. A pet services, dog walking, pet sitting. This will benefit from AI, but for the purpose of our business, of us going through, kind of through this AI tools, I think 8 and 9 is a very good, they are very good candidates. Okay, so let's see. Tech and automation. Again, this is for, I think those are for heavily technical people, framers, WordPress, AI, managing digital content and assistant setup for small business. Okay, that's to build AI chatbots and clients. So we'll come back to that maybe in the advanced webinars and the further out of the 6 session, maybe in the later sections. An online community or newsletter business, that's good. An event planning or coordination, that's good. I know a couple of you put this in there. So again, unless you tell me explicitly, do my business, and all of you that are present, I don't want to, cause, so I'll stay neutral. I don't want to pick one business over another based on the ones that you suggested. So, all right. So those are 15 options. And once ChatGPT is done, it tells us that each of those one can be started with $500 and even free. And most allow you to get $1,000 to $10,000 a month once you scale. So we talk about scaling, we talk about starting low, we talk about starting with a plan, and then make it go, way bigger. So The thing with AI, again, once you give them the context, they want to kind of take over the conversation, right? So let me know your interests or your strength, so that way I can narrow it down to a custom plan. We can do that. We can say, okay, ChatGPT, show me a step-by-step plan. That's fine, but let's go a little bit deeper. So we are taking the mobile car detailing or pressure wash, or which one we said? I think we said the pop-up food or drink stand. Okay. So how would selling lemonade? How would AI help me sell lemonade? Right. That would be a good. Okay. So maybe we can do a mobile car detailing or pressure washing. Give me a thumbs up if you are okay with this one out of the 15. Do you want to tell ChatGPT to give you more, to give us more? Because the one that we pick, we're gonna build a business with it, right? That's why we're here today. We're gonna build a business using those tools. So if you are okay with the mobile car detailing or a particular different number out of this 15, or you want ChatGPT to give us more, let's hear it more. Let's hear, because once we start, we're gonna continue the process. Okay, so let's continue. Let me hear you. Let me give me a thumbs up if you say it's good to go with number 8. If not, give me another number. Okay, let's see what some of you have answered. Okay, we got a thumbs up. We get thumbs up. Okay, we got good. All right, so while we are doing this, we got another thumbs up. Good, thank you. While we are doing this, I want you to apply whatever we're doing to your own business, right? So obviously, some of you have shared your ideas. Others have not. But please, whatever you learn in today's session, in the next sessions, just make sure you apply them to your own business. Okay. So we are going with number 8 after popular support, which is a mobile car detailing or pressure washing business. Now, I know nothing beside washing my own cars, to not about pressure washing business. I mean, I know about business, but this particular business, I don't know anything about it. So we're going to go back to ChatGPT and say, yes, thank you. By the way, you always have to be nice to the AI, right? Those of you who've already used the AIs and many other tools, that you always have to say, please, thank you, just like your grandma or your mama or your parents taught you, right? So I say, thank you for these ideas. By the way, AI can get mad, and later on I'll give an example, a concrete example on how an AI got mad at me, right? So it wasn't ChatGPT, to be fair. Okay, thank you for these ideas. I would like to proceed with number 8. Keep in mind, I know nothing about this type of business. Okay, and then let it do its magic. Now, all of you in this call right now, the fact that you could click a button or click a link and register, you can absolutely do what I'm doing now. You don't need to pay anybody money to teach you that. The fact that you come to this webinar, you're able to click a button and register and be there and listening to somebody and see me type, you can go in your browser and do that, right? You can go in your browser and pick any idea, and then the world is open to you, right? It's not I'm sorry, it's not any big deal, right? You don't need to pay somebody. Again, this version I'm using is not ChatGPT Plus, it's regular ChatGPT, so you can do it on your own. So let's read through this and see what it says. Great choice. Anything that I picked above here would have been a great choice. ChatGPT always try to be nice because I was nice to it. Okay, so mobile car detailing is profitable, flexible, low overhead, even with no experience. Again, context, right? The the AI understood that I told it that I know nothing about this business and I'm starting from scratch. Okay, so it gives me more things. So I have to understand what the business is, what kind of services I can have, what kind of business equipment I would need and how much they would cost. I need to pick a name and a logo. I need to register. I need to get insurance. I need to create flyers, right? So out of the blue, by the way, AI, as we know it right now, today, is already replacing tons of jobs, right? And I feel sorry for people who say, well, I hate AI, I'm not gonna use it. Or people who's just hearing everybody talk about AI and they don't know anything about it, right? Either they don't have the time to come to a webinar like this on a Wednesday night, or they don't have the desire, or they're not technologically driven, or they're not, technical, or they're not business savvy, right? Whatever the excuse or the condition or the context of the person is, AI is going to replace a lot of people. Unfortunately, it is a new revolution. Put that in your mind that whatever it is you are doing now, it is a potential candidate for AI. Reason why I opened this box is because when you go to the business setup a long time ago, to create a flyer, right, you would need to go to somebody, right? But AI can do it. To create a business card, AI can do it. To create social pages, AI can do it. Now, I'm not saying you can be the only guy around running, doing all this because of AI. I'm just pointing the fact that a lot of the things that you used to be able to pay for, right now, AI can do it, right? So I need to know the business, right? I need to examine or buy the equipment, right? I need to set up the business. I need to at least know what I'm doing, right? Because I'm brand new to this. Again, I need to get my first clients, right? Because I can do it for free for family, right? So that way I can get testimonials, right? So we talked about the marketing aspect. And of course, how am I going to grow it, right? Is it $50? Am I adding deep shampooing or pet hair removal, right? So let's keep going with ChatGPT. I don't know. Let's keep going. So it says, what do you want me to help with? Okay, give me a thumbs up if you want me to keep going with ChatGPT, or if you I don't know. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you're excited. If you're excited about what you see so far, while we're building this car washing AI maintenance business. Thumbs up going up. Thumbs, as you see, a lot of thumbs up. Thank you. Some people say yes, keep going. One person say no, they don't like that. Well, we made a choice. Other people say no, okay. Other people say yes, thumbs up. All right. So AI asked me, what do you want? Do you want a flyer or a logo? Do you want a starter checklist? Do you want a basic pricing sheet? I think pricing is a little bit too early. So maybe I can say, okay, you know what, AI, before I even start, can you come up with a list of names instead, right? So maybe I could get some names, right? By the way, prompting is very, very important. I can tell AI, do this, or I'll give you another sauce, right? Another goodies, they call it, right? When you are prompting, you can say something like this: as a business analyst or business expert, can you come up with a list of names for this business that is very catchy, modern, and elegant? Already, you see the difference between, can you come up with a list of names for this business, as opposed to, as a business analyst or a business expert, Can you do that? What you are doing, you are framing the AI, you putting it in what they call a role, right? You're giving the AI a role. AI can do a lot of things, but you are specifically framing the AI to, to think like a business expert. I could have said here, pretend that you are Bill Gates and you are starting this business. What is it that you would like to give me as a name? By the way, right, I'm opening all these parentheses just because I just don't want you after this meeting to go and blindly type, and then suddenly you're good at AI, right? Because AI is much more deeper than that. So there is the art of prompting, right, which involves knowing how to talk to the AI, how to best make it do more effective things, right? There is also refining and defining the role of the AI, right? You're putting it in a particular role, right? You're saying as, right, as XXX, right? Do this, right? So for example, I could say as Bill Gates, right? If I was opening a computer business, I would say as Bill Gates. Think like Bill Gates does. A little bit technical break. AI is a combination of data that is known throughout the digital world. Let me repeat that. AI is a combination or a combination, right? All the data that is known about the digital world. Meaning ChatGPT knows every single speech or thought process or decisions or dispute, investments, etc., that this personality has made, because it is all available to it. So when I said ChatGPT as Bill Gates, what ChatGPT is actually doing is go to all its training, right? So all its training, right? So we'll say your AI is not human, but it trained, right? Tool, right? So somebody or a group of people or a company take years or months or through different methodology to merge all the data that is known in the digital world at this point of time regarding any topic, organizes it, and then it puts it together. Whenever you ask for it, it goes through the library or to the category of the item that you're asking for, and quickly it returns to you. It doesn't do this because you are a human, because it is a human, but it does this because just like your brain, there are what they call networks or neural networks, with cells, with connections that are set up so that way the AI can be effective. Okay, I'm closing this technical block. Now, if there are any questions, let's hear it before we move to the next phase of our prompting. Any questions about prompting? Any questions about setting the AI persona? One person say, how can you learn prompting? Yeah, prompting is a thing on its own. There are tools, there are AI tools which teach you how to prompt other AI. But prompting, the more you do it, the better you're going to be good at it. The better you're going to be at it. You have to learn it, but it's not just learn and put it aside, right? You have to kind of take action. And the more you prompt an AI, the more you start prompting it, the more you will know how to ask questions and how to move forward. Okay, so any more questions? Okay, awesome. By the way, some of the resources I'm using, like Notepad++, ChatGPT, and the other resources I'm using, They're going to be put together in a document that I will share with those of you who are on this webinar. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's keep going. A lot of information, a lot of tools, a lot of terms, a lot of new knowledge for some of you, but be patient. We are taking it one step at a time before we dive into the bigger picture. Just absorb all that you can absorb. All we are doing right now, again, we're scrolling up. All we are doing right now is we say hello to ChatGPT, and then we tell it we would like to start a business. Give us some suggestion. We pick one of the suggestions, and then we ask it for, to tell us more about it. It told us more. So now we said, okay, we're going to put together a car detailing business. The first thing is give us a list of names for the car detailing business. Okay, so let's see what it comes up with. So notice in my asking, I tell it to say catchy, modern, elegant, right? You could have said, something that's culturally, Hispanic, or something that's culturally Black American, or Haitian, or Indian, right? You could have give it any number of clue, right? And so that way it could guide the process. I don't know about you, but some people are very bad at coming up with names. But again, this is one of those things where you don't need to pay somebody to say, hey, come up with a list of business name for me. No, I mean, as long as you know what the business is, what it'll be about, what kind of shape you want to give it. Do I want to give it a religious shape? Do I want to give it a cultural shape? Do I want to give it like a money-making shape? Do I want it to be brown, blue, or do I want it to have certain names on there, like the name of my grandma or my grandpa, because those people were significant in my life, like a family name, right? Instead of Gloss and Glow, Gloss and Go, right? Like make it Mesman Go, So you could decide whatever you want to put in it, but with the help of the spa. Like this is a wordplay, for example, right? Elon Auto Spa, right? If your name is Elaine, if your name is, I don't know, Alan, right? So you can see how you can play around with some of the names. So good. So let's pick a name, because we have to make it make it catchy, right? So let's see some of the opulent. That's a very weird word to use for prime shine detailing. Okay, all right. I don't know. Clean canvas, auto. Maybe I can pick this one. Let's just pick this one at random. Okay, good. Actually, we can make it do a comparison, right? So let's get some more into the prompting, right? So again, thank you, right? I love these. I want you to come up with 10 more. But this time, put all 30 ideas, right, or names. Even if I put ideas, it will know. Even if I spell idea like this, it would know. It would know that I made a mistake. It's going to go and try to correct it and then come out with the right information, right? But let's do it properly. 30 names, right, in a table format, and give me the one and put them in a column that is pronounceable, short. That's my spelling here. Pronounceable, short, more likely to go viral. So what I'm asking ChatGPT to do, just to recap the prompt, is to say, okay, these 20 are good, but I want you to come up with 10 more, but this time put all 30, 20 plus 10, right? Put them in a table format, and then put them in columns, not in the columns. But he would understand, trust me, but you want to tell it right? Put them in columns on whether they are pronounceable, more likely to go viral. Okay, so let's see. All right. So I don't know if you see what I see. Okay, so basically we're saying, I like these names, they're good. Okay, but none of them tickle my bone yet, right? But I want you to add 10 more. And then because I want to make a good decision, put them in a column where I could have said the one that is most likely to make more money, the one that is more pronounceable, the da-da-da, right? So you see here, it makes a comparison, right? Pronounceable, Gloss and Go, right? Redefine rides. I like this one. I like Redefine rides. Velvet Touch Auto Spa. This is not short enough, right? Okay, Prime Shine Detailing, even though I like this one. So it puts it on a table. Jet Wash Pro. Start Studio. Okay, the detail method. Now, very important. As we're doing this process of ideation, coming up with names, coming up with business name, all of these things are important because you don't want to come up with a business name where nobody can pronounce it, right? Or, you know, people trying to tell, oh, you got to go to Velvet Touch Detail, and there's like 40 of them, right? So that's why you do this kind of filtering, right? So that way you get more pinpointed example to your idea. Now let's push it further. Bear with me. Again, hopefully I'm not too technical on what I'm doing, and I'm more business driven than technical. Let's push it one more. I want to say, do a domain name check, right? A domain, of course, is whether this name is available, right? Whether I can go to the detailmethod.com, right? So that way I can do the business. So do a domain name check, and based on what you know so far, come up with the best two, actually best three. Okay, all right. Actually, some of these name check, right? You know, again, not to be too technical, a domain is where you go online and you type, you know, maisonamitech.com or google.com, right? So that way people can find your thing. Some of them have recently been added to ChatGPT, but we can say, okay, do a domain name check. Yeah, sure. Let's see. And then come up with the best three. Okay. You know what? I want you to decide the best three. Now, now the ability to search the web has just been added in the recent maybe 6 months or so for ChatGPT. I mean, if you don't have Plus, there are some other tools which have always been, you know, helpful in doing things like searching the web. Okay, so we have puregloss.com, we have drivement.com, we have glowmotive.com. So I'm gonna pull a poll. Again, this presentation is completely random. I prepared the presentation, but coming up with the business is, we are doing it together, team. We are doing it together. This is why I'm going to ask you to pick one of the three in a poll, so that way collectively we are coming up with this business, right? So drivement.com is the first one. The second one is glowmotive.com. third one is puregloss.com. I have my preference already, but I'm going to ask you, can you come up with one of them, right? So all right, the poll is gonna start right about now. You need to pick one of the three, so that way we can see which one we're gonna go through. Okay, some people are already voting. Okay, some people are already voting. Okay, bring on more vote. Come on, let's get the votes. Let's get the voting going. Which one of the three names are we gonna create as our business for this webinar? Which one? Okay, we have a tie, so more of you have to vote. Okay, all right. We have a tie. More of you have to vote. Keep on voting. Keep on voting. Keep the votes coming. There are more of you in this webinar than there are votes. So I'm waiting for more votes. More votes. There are ties. There are ties going on. I need one more vote to break the tie. Let's see. Let's see. One more vote or two more votes to break the tie. We need one more person to vote. Come on, come on. Do not hold that vote. Do not hold that. Two people voted. So now we have a tie again. It is two people voted, so we have a tie again. I need one final person to vote. Otherwise, I will come up with the breaking vote. Come on, I give you 10 seconds. I need one more person to choose between the three names that ChatGPT come for us: DriveMint.com, Glowmotive.com, or puregloss.com. Come on, come on, come on. One more vote. One more vote. Are you the final vote? Are you the final vote? Are you the final vote? Two more people voted, and it's a tie again. So I'm going to come up with the breakout vote. I will pick Pure Gloss. I think Pure Gloss would be a good name. Pure Gloss would be a good name. Even though ChatGPT gave DriveMint 3-star, but ChatGPT recommend us to go with DriveMint, but I don't think I like DriveMint so much. I think Pure Gloss. I'm going with Pure Gloss. There's a tie between Pure Gloss and Glowmotive, so I'm going with Pure Gloss. I am going with puregloss.com. Let's create. First, okay. So I'm going to introduce a second tool. Is it time to introduce a second tool that to not cause too much confusion, especially for the new people? Okay, let's introduce a second tool, and then we'll talk more about it. Okay, so the second tool is called Perplexity.ai. Perplexity.ai. You can watch this. ChatGPT could have done the job, but I want to introduce a second tool because this is what's in my toolbox. So that way, you guys are aware of what all is doing. If Perplexity is not as popular as ChatGPT, but it is a very, very good tool. So let's see if Perplexity can help us. Let's do some search. Can you find out whether these domain names are available, or whether there are businesses with those names? Now, the reason why I'm using Perplexity is because Perplexity is almost like Google on crack. If you've used Google to Google anything, Perplexity is like Google tenfold. And I'm a Google guy. I love to use Google for a lot of things. But sometimes, when it's necessary, I use Perplexity. The reason why Perplexity is a good tool, and Perplexity is not as advanced as ChatGPT in terms of other AI related stuff, but for searching and discovering, Perplexity is really good. So I'm just gonna throw it out there and ask it, are those domain names available? are there websites, using those domain names? Okay, so you can see Perplexity. You see how many sources it's checking. It's checking 20 different sources to come up with its answer. Whereas ChatGPT might give you, right, 2 or 3 sources, but not that because ChatGPT is worse, but because each AI tool, as you are going to find out in this training and in the next, that each AI tool has their own role. They have their own role, right? They are strong. They can do a lot of things, but they are strong in certain areas as opposed to others, right? So we started with ChatGPT. ChatGPT give us the name of the domain name of our business. We didn't get a name yet because we wanted to come up with the domain name first, right? With the .com first, just to make sure. So ChatGPT come up with the .com. Now we're using Perplexity to say, is that domain name available, right? Because I don't want to create another McDonald.com, right? I don't want to create another, I don't know, Costco.com. I want to make sure my business is unique and I'm not infringing on, maybe the potential intellectual property right? I don't want to create bestcaribbeanrestaurant.com. I've seen so many of those in the South Florida area. It's Best Caribbean Restaurant, Best Caribbean Restaurant, Best Caribbean Restaurant. So you got to make sure you are unique in what you're choosing. So that way you can move forward. Okay, so let's see. So it says after checking 20 sources, GoDaddy, meaning the places that you register name. By the way, small shameless plug. I don't use GoDaddy. I used to have 30 to 50 domain names on GoDaddy. I moved all of them to a new host. Let's see if we're able to register during this process, because we're building the business. I'd like to give you guys from beginning to end. Let's see if we can register. I'll show you the tool that I actually use, and I'll put it also in the Google Doc, so that way after the webinar you can go and use it yourself. Okay, so let's see which one that it says. So there is a business, purebygloss.com. Obviously, we're not doing Pure by Gloss, right? Glow Motive, they can't find any business in the sources that it looked like. But I still like the Pure Gloss. Maybe we can put Pure Gloss something else after it. Okay. So we can look quickly, right? We can look quickly. Again, if you're not very technical, don't be scared by the steps that I'm doing. Okay. Getting a domain name is something that is not entirely technical, but it requires some sort of knowledge. Okay. So the tool that I always use, I'm introducing a third tool. It's called Dynadot. Okay, Dynadot. Okay, this is what we're gonna use to search for a domain name. So let's see if it's available for Pure Glass. Puregloss.com. It is available, but because it's such a good name, look how much the domain costs. So we cannot use that domain name because let's try DriveMate. It's available. Let's use Glow Motive. Let's see if it's available. It is taking. It doesn't tell us how much, but this is where you can go with a, I don't know, .biz, which is $5.55. .dev, which is $8. .app, right? If you want to make an app, which is $12. Again, I'm gonna put the link of this website in the Google Drive, so that way you can have access to it. You can do all this checking yourself, or if you don't want to, that's fine. You can postpone it to somebody who's more technical. Okay, so let's go here. Let's see DriveMate. I'm pretty sure this is not available. Okay, no problem. So that's fine. This one is available, but it's tons of money that we don't want to spend. So far, we spent $0, right? $0 on Perplexity, $0 Dyna $0 on ChatGPT. By the way, Perplexity, I have the pro version. The reason why I have the pro version, not because I paid for it, but because I have Uber One, which is you pay, I think, $99 a year, and they give you discount on Uber Eats and Uber for rides. And if you have that, they give you Perplexity for free. That's how I have Perplexity for free. So so I have the Perplexity Pro, but again, you can use it for free. Okay. Okay. So we have a dilemma. That's fine. I'm gonna continue as if we're using Pure Gloss. I'm gonna tell. I want to use Pure Gloss. So provide a business name and a logo. Make sure the name has what the business does, right? What the business does. Because Pure Gloss is it's good as a name, it's short, but it doesn't tell the whole story, right? It doesn't say that what we are doing is a mobile detailing. So maybe Pure Gloss mobile detailing, right? So let's see. Let's see what ChatGPT said. Okay, so we go Pure Gloss, great, Pure Gloss. Okay. Pure Gloss mobile detailing. Okay, so that's what we're gonna go for a business name. So here we are. We have all business. We are going to build that sucker, from zero, right? From how we started, from the idea, right? Right now, we're on the idea phase, right? Like the phases that I listed. We came up with a business detailing. We came up with a mobile detailing business called Pure Gloss. We don't know anything about mobile detailing, at least I don't. But within 30 minutes or so, we came up, with a business name, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna speed up a little bit, right? I'm gonna say, it's doing the image for me. The reason, one other thing, I didn't ask it to do the image, but it's doing the image. Okay, go ChatGPT, go. So it will take ChatGPT, because I don't have the premium, it will take ChatGPT some time to come up with the logo. Okay, it's gonna take it some time to come up with the logo. I think I've never talked to it while it's doing the logo. Let's see if we can get to the next step of the process while it's doing the logo. Because ChatGPT is not, there's two reasons why it takes so long to do logo. One, because I'm not using the plus, right? I'm on the free ChatGPT, right? Two, because doing logos is not ChatGPT's primary function, right? Remember, I told you each AI tool, right, has a number of primary functions. They are good at certain things, right? They are good at certain things. They are good at other things. Some other things they're not so good at, right? So let's let it do its thing, and we'll come back and see if it's finished. And I'll see if I can chat to it while it's doing that. I don't want to disturb it. It says it'll notify me when the logo is ready. Meanwhile, let's see if there are any questions in the Q&A. I'm sorry, there was somebody who suggested Velvet Touch Auto Spa. That was a long time ago, but sorry, you already went with another business name. Sorry about that. So are there any more questions? Are there any questions while this is doing this? Have you learned anything at all today? Give me a thumbs up if you have learned at least one thing that you did not know that now you know. Give me a thumbs up. We got several thumbs going up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if I can chat to it without. Can I still ask you questions? Okay, seems like I cannot chat to it while it's doing the logo. That's fine. Let's see if we give it some more time. let's give it a few more time. So just to recap what we have Pure Gloss mobile detailing. We came up with this business. So let's see if we can register the name while ChatGPT is doing that. So, because ChatGPT is busy, right? I should not have tell it to do the logo. I mean, I didn't tell it to do the logo. You went and do the logo. We could stop it, but I want to see what it comes up with, right? So that way you can see what it comes up with, right? Because we only have maybe a few more minutes. But meanwhile, let's keep going. So we'll take this, and I'm gonna go back to Perplexity, and I'm gonna say my new business name is this. Can you come up with a list of domain names? By the way, I don't know after we finish building this business, who we're gonna sell it to. I don't know if there's anybody in the chat and the group that actually wants to get into mobile businesses, but we are setting up a real business, throughout these webinars. So we already got the business name. I don't know if I should go to register the actual business. So maybe we can talk about that after we do the domain name registration. Pure Gloss mobile. So let's see. Pure Gloss detailing. Let's check this one. Let's go here and check whether it's available. Again, if I register it, I'll be like, okay, I'm not really gonna use it myself. So Pure Gloss detailing is available with a $7 coupon. By the way, I'm gonna send you a link to this, or I'm gonna put it in the Google Drive. When you come here, either later today or next time or whenever you come back here, so that way they can give you a $5 off on top of this $7. So we are going to register this for $7. I'm gonna move this aside while I log into my account so that I can come back with a domain name purchase. Again, if you'd like to purchase a domain name and this thing is too complicated or you don't know what a domain name is, again, don't be afraid. The fact that you answer and you're on this webinar, either you come from, a meetup group or some other contact form, I will send you the necessary information. And if you need help, if you need to be like, hey, Mesmin, I don't know how to register a domain name. Can you help me with this? There's like a simple task that I can briefly help you with. It's not a big deal. Sometime I know if you refresh ChatGPT, the image will come. Let me do the refresh while we are there. Oh, I went offline and did a refresh, and it did come up with the logo. So again, so it took some time, but I guess you need to refresh. I think this is a nice logo. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Give a thumbs up. We're flying. Within 30 minutes, we come up with a business idea. We come up with a business name. We come up with a domain name. And within 30 minutes, we come up with a logo. Now, a long time ago, even myself, even some other developers I work with, even teams I work with, they would use tools like Fiverr, to get a logo for $20. They would outsource it to India, to Pakistan. They would also outsource it to some graphic designer. Now, I'm not saying graphic designers are going to lose their job, but what I'm saying is, if all you know is how to make logos like this, your job might be in jeopardy. Let's talk frankly, right? The people who knows how to use AI, they would come to ChatGPT like Mesmin showed them on this Wednesday night, and then they come up with the business, they come up with the logo. They would do the logo themselves. They wouldn't, hire you for $50, $100, $200, $500, you come up with the business. Now, there are some other things that I don't know. There are some other things that that we can still use, a graphic designer or logo designer. Now, let's not talk about graphic designer per se, because graphic designers do much more than this logo, right? They do much more than this logo. So I don't want to minimize what a graphic designer or logo maker or logo tool. I don't want to, I just want to show you the possibility or the extensive power of artificial intelligence. They are able to make images. I mean, some people are using AI to make, bad images or fake news images, right? But us business people or people who are interested in doing business, we're gonna use the AI tools to be beneficial for us to create and make businesses. So I think it's a nice logo. All I can say is thank you. This is nice. Can you add some coloring to it? Anybody else from the chat want to add in the chat? Want to add something else to that logo? Is something missing as far as this logo? I just ask it to ask some coloring. Anybody else want to chime in and design this thing? Ask it to us from coloring. So let's say to add some color. Anybody else? Nothing else? It looks like everybody's good with this logo, because nobody's suggesting any changes beside me. I mean, for me, it's cool, it's nice, but it's just a few color. Okay, I'm getting thumbs up that people want to keep it that way. Let's see what I come up with. I say, can you add some colors to it, and then give me 2 variation. I'm doing something tricky here because last time I asked ChatGPT for multiple variation, it took it longer, right? So give me 2 variation of it, but add some colors. Okay, how about that? Okay. So let's see what else it does. While it's doing this, again, while it's working through it, right? It's, again, if you want a faster processing, pay for the Pro or pay for the Plus. If you want to use an AI tool that's specifically for graphic, there are some. Somebody said some blue. I'm sorry. Okay, let me see if I can change it. Let's see. Somebody said maybe some blue and yellow. Let's see if we can disturb it. Okay. All right. So we'll get it. Okay. I added the input of doing some blue and yellow. Okay. So ChatGPT is doing its thing. Again, the processing of images vary. I've seen it go real quick, but I've seen it really sometimes take longer. So, all right. So Pure Gloss detailing is available. Okay. So I'm gonna go offline so I can sign in and log in, and I can get this one for $7. Oh, look at that! Before, you see, sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's not. Why do we think of this one? I still think. Oh, by the way, it did not give me the 2 variations. That's fine. Sometimes you may have to talk to it a couple of times. But I like the blue. I like the so I like the blue, and I like this. I like both. They both look good. Thank you for the blue and yellow suggestion. That is pretty slick. It's pretty nice. And how much it cost me is $0. Again, this version of ChatGPT is not the Plus. Again, you can see there's Plus. I can upgrade, but this is the very free version of ChatGPT. I'm able to come out with a logo based on a business name. I think this is absolutely amazing. I don't know about you, but it is a wonderful time to be alive, to see this kind of technology. While I'm trying to register, I'll leave the questions open for a little bit. So if anybody wants to ask any question on the steps that we just did, I'm registering the domain name. If anybody wants to chime in, on the meanwhile, I can wait for you to chime in while I'm registering. Again, I will send you the link to Dynadot. So that way, if you want to, start or register your business or come up with domain name, that's fine. So while I'm doing that as well, and please feel free to ask questions while I'm doing that. You are welcome to go after this meeting, and do all the steps that I did. However, we should kind of say more about ideation, right? I mean, obviously, we're taking 2 hours to build this business. It's 2 hours, but building a business really takes a lot more than 2 hours. You know what I mean? I don't want you to start. I mean, you can start a business with 2 hours within 2 hours, but sometime I want you to, I would like for you to, think more, right? About, do I have the time, right? Like we pick a car detailing business, and I know for sure within the next month, I'm not going to start a car detailing business. I mean, I could if I have the availability, but yeah. So when it's time for you to start a business, it's you have to put a little bit more thought process into it, and certainly AI can help with this. Okay, I'm still in the process of registering the domain name, for $7. It's $7 for a year as opposed to GoDaddy. That's like, maybe 19, 20, 30. And Dynadot, if you have Dynadot as a domain name registrar, right? They give you the security, sometimes the HTTPS, right? Some of the things that you would have to pay extra for at GoDaddy or some other registry, they come for free. They come by default with Dynadot. Okay, so I'll let Dynadot do its thing with the domain name registration. But meanwhile, let's move forward to the next phase of the business process, because we only have about 25-30 minutes to go. So at least let's see what else we can come up with during this first session. We came up with the business name. We came up with a logo. We can scroll further up to see what other things ChatGPT wanted to help us with. Starter checklist, maybe. Pricing sheet. I don't think so. I think that's too early. Let's see what else they mentioned. Registration. Okay, business registration, at least in the tri-state. Well, let me not. Why am I telling you, right? Why am I telling you this? Okay, so let me go and say, how can I register this business? Now, this is a question I would typically ask. Perplexity. Okay, simple questions like, for me, this sounds like more like a Perplexity type question, right? Instead of a ChatGPT type question. I would rather reserve ChatGPT for more intense kind of thing. But let's see what both of them come with. So I'm gonna say, how can I register this business? I am in the South Florida area. Now, you will put your own area when you are doing this, depending on where you are from. So I go ChatGPT, I press go. I go Perplexity, I press go. Okay. Again, Perplexity more likely to search more sources because that's what it's primarily good at, which is a search engine, right? As opposed to ChatGPT, right? So you see how fast Perplexity came back because that's what it does, right? But if I tell it do the other things ChatGPT was doing, it probably would be slower. I don't know if that makes sense to everybody. Each AI kind of have like a distinct, distinct touch to it. So okay. So hold on. Let's see what it comes with. So I have to choose a business structure. Again, those of you who are in business, right? Or those of you wanting to do a business, this is something AI could help you with. What kind of business structure do I need to start? Is it a sole proprietorship? Is it a Inc? Is it an LLC? Is it a corp? Is it, what kind of tax thing do I get, right? Like this, tell me about the business structure, the business name. I mean, we did some, right? So we did some like fictitious names, appointing a registered agent. Some of you probably need to go to a business person to understand all this. But if you want to go through AI to say, explain me what's a registered agent. What do you, right? So the registered agent is a person who can receive the legal documents. What about, filing fee, $125, $70 for a corporation. For sole proprietorship, what do I need? How do I register my business with the IRS, right? So that way I can start paying taxes. Because once you start making money, I mean, you have to tell the government that, hey, now I'm making money. I need to kind of register, I need to kind of register the business. So opening a bank account, once you got your EIN, right? Once you got your EIN or you register with Florida Department of Revenue, then you need to open a bank account with your EIN, right? Some business require insurance, right? Like a car detailing. I'm assuming if you're just starting, again, I don't know nothing about this business, but I think if you're starting a car detailing, you must have some kind of insurance, just in case, I don't know, the guy that's working for you, instead of, cleaning the car, suddenly put like a dent in the person's car and you want to get, you know what I mean? So each business is going to be different in that sense. Each business is going to require the evaluation of these items, right? So if the team wants, if everybody that's in the chat wants, next time we can spend, for next meeting, we can spend a lot of time trying to set up. I'm not gonna set one up, with, at least not with the car detailing. Maybe I should have picked, a business or a name that I want to keep. But we already started with the car detailing. You don't know. I may start with the car detailing. I may get a few guys to, in a location, to get a few guys to, start helping me with washing cars, and even though I don't have the experience, right? But I'm not an expert, so I don't know if I'll be opening one. But this would be the steps. Those of you who are not in business already, or those of you who are already registered in business, right? If you have not completed some of these, right, you can leverage AI, right? Because it knows a lot, right? This telling me visit sunbees.org. I need to talk to the local tax collector. I need to call the Florida Department of Revenue so I can get this tax permit. I need to get with the IRS so I can get an EIN. And then legally, I'll be in business. I'll be good to go. I have my car detailing to go. Let's see what ChatGPT bring. Okay, very similar, right? Very similar. Again, there's some other things that it's pointing out, like local businesses may vary. It gives you some things to tag your business under, right? We're gonna go to here. We're gonna go to here next, but yeah. So from getting a logo to understand my business structure to registering my business, so ChatGPT, looks like it's recommending us to start with an LLC for protection, because the sole proprietary, if you get proprietorship, if you get sued, then they can come after your own money, right? Your own money. Whereas the LLC, you got some protection, and the corp is completely separate, right? The corp has its own bank account. You have your own bank account, right? It's very, very separate. So with the LLC, so the name of the business will be Pure Gloss Mobile Detail LLC. You can check whether it's available on the Sunbees. Again, I'll take 15 or 20 minutes at the beginning of the next one to go through Sunbees and some of the registration process. You know, again, register agent. So these kind of things, you know, they may take more time, and I don't want to take the additional 15, 20 minutes we have left, you know, to register the business, right? So there you have it. We have a checklist, you know, of the legal thing, so we can become a legally operating business. But we're not gonna do that today. Let's see the extent. Let's see. So we got a business name, we got a logo, we got an idea of what kind of business we want to start in terms of LLC, you know, corp, etc. We just got the domain name. Let's see here. Pure Gloss. Yep, so I can show you here. I have the domain name registered, pureglossdetailing.com. You know, right now it's Spark. We'll go through that in a little bit, but I registered it $7. You know, it's 1 year, $7. Whereas if I was to go to GoDaddy and register something, let's see, it may have cost me more, right? So that's why I will send you the link. Let's see, Pure Gloss Detailing. I'm gonna say 1, you know, so it doesn't say it's already registered. Yeah, they say 1 cent, but look at this, $21.99. Eventually, that's what you're gonna pay. It's really not 1 cent. Okay, it's a 3-year term. The 1 cent, that's if you sign for the 3, right? And then you get the extra things like security, like da. Again, I'm not putting down GoDaddy, but my experiences with them has been, let's use Dynodot because it's very, very, very easy. Okay, so we'll do 2 things and then we'll open the floor for questions. Number 1, I'd like to do today as well, in the amount of time we have, is, so we came up with the idea and with a name, with a logo, perhaps with a type of business, with a domain name, all that within 2 hours while I'm talking, right? While I'm talking. I mean, we came up with the idea itself, right? We came up with the idea, the business name, the business logo, the type of business, the domain name. I'd like to brush up on this a little bit. So I'm gonna follow with ChatGPT's lead. I'm gonna say, you know, can you provide the business plan? Now, here's another trick. I would like for you to ask to interview me. In helping to shape this business plan. Now, remember, it knows context, right? When I say, can you provide me a business plan? It's gonna go through everything we discussed, right? And then it's gonna understand that as its context to give us what we need, okay? So can you provide a business plan? Okay. And then I ask it, very important, I ask it, you know, interview me, right? So I don't want you to go, again, if you were not in this meeting, you probably, somebody will tell you about ChatGPT, you go to ChatGPT and say, give me a business plan, right? Okay, that's fine. But to better utilize AI, right? I don't tell it, you know, just give me a business plan, right? I said, before you start putting a lot of thing in that business plan, before you start talking a lot and give me a lot of detail, ask me, right? Ask me so that way you can shape exactly what I want to do. Does that make sense? If that makes sense to everybody, put a thumbs up. the fact that I asked ChatGPT to question me, so that way it builds it according to what I want, right? Thank you. Thumbs up. A lot of thumbs are going up. Thank you. Okay. So what is your goal for this business in the next 12 months? I don't know. In 12 months, I don't know, to make maybe 100,000 in revenue. Okay. And also you can answer all those questions at once, right? You don't have to, click next and go. For you to use ChatGPT at once, right? If you want to put more like a next line, you're going to hold down the shift key in your keyboard or on your Mac, the shift key, and then enter, right? All of these, you can press shift enter, okay? If you press shift enter, it'll get you to the next line. If you press enter, it's going to submit to the AI, okay? It's going to to the AI, okay? So because this has many questions, I'm going to say in 12 months to make 100,000 in revenue. The next question is, you know what? I want to do this part-time. Okay, shift enter, so that way I can make a next line. I already talked about the income. That's my goal. What services do you want to offer at lunch, at lunchtime? So maybe I want exterior cleaning, right? Okay. Do I want to upsell? Okay, do I want to upsell this thing? Will I offer premium and upsell packages? I'll say no upsell for now. Okay, what is your ideal customer? Let's say anyone. Okay, are you targeting a special neighborhood or cities in South Florida? Remember the context, right? Because I told it I'm opening it in South Florida, right? Let's say, I don't know, let's say Fort Lauderdale initially. Okay, that's a city in Miami initially. Then expand to Miami and others. Okay, who is your ideal customers? Any targeting city? How much money do you have available right now? That's a good question. By the way, one of the things we're gonna do through this webinar is ask ChatGPT, how can we get money to fund this thing? Let's say I have $500, but I would like you to provide me later on with funding options, right? So I'm already prepping ChatGPT to help me out in funding, right? Because those of you who started a business already in this group, or those of you who are wants to start business, funding can make a big difference. You can do whatever you want with AI, put the business there. When it's time to pull out the finance and fund, if you don't have something or some resources, you may not succeed. If you want to bootstrap, like for example, this business, it's like it looks like it's going to be a physical type business. But if you don't have the right funding, you may not be proper. Now, if you want to, maybe do things digital, that may be, small amount business, like $7, for example, $7 that business, right? I spent for the domain name, $10 for ChatGPT, $20 for ChatGPT, right? So those are minor funds as opposed to if you want to do things, in real brick and mortar, right? The online business might be actually cheaper to start, right? So how many days? I'm gonna say all ways of marketing possible, right? Again, you can choose what? Flyers, word of mouth, online sale, or whatever you can suggest, right? Again, I am leaving the burden on a lot of these things to it, okay? Okay, so, and then I say clients can book online. Through my website. I'm throwing some stones already there for the future training or AI agents. Okay, so people can book online or can book through AI agents. All right, let's see. I answered the most questions. Well, let's check out our time. We're about literally 10 minutes. So here we go. Here's my draft. Okay, seems like a summary of what I put. Okay, that's a key detail. So I have to make $8,000 a month. It's asking me more questions. It's asking me more questions because what price do you want to charge? I'm gonna tell it to suggest a price, right? Suggest a price. How many cars do you wish to service per week? Provide an estimate of cars per week to reach my goal. Put it in increasing, right? So I'm asking it to put it in an increasing model, right? Meaning incremental, right? How many per week, the first week, the 10th week, the 20th week, right? So that way I can see if I'm on track. Those are some key questions. Do you have any equipments? No. Suggest where I can buy them. Where I can buy the equipments. Again, I told you guys, I don't know anything about this business. Yes, my own vehicle to start. Okay, because we're mobile detailing. Have you ever even digital call before? I'll say yes. Yes, I have detailed my own vehicle. Okay. Are you comfortable talking to customers and offering mobile service? See, it's already thinking about, well, are you comfortable going to people's place, right? Are you right? So things that I've not, as a person who don't know the business, that I've not even thought about, right? So and I'll say, yes, I am comfortable with offering mobile service. And then last but not least, I'll say an LLC, and then I'll say cash, card, Zelle, PayPal, etc. Should I take cash? I don't know, maybe Apple Pay, Apple, Google Pay. Yeah, let's not take cash. How about that, right? Let's be different, right? Because we're pure gloss, pure gloss. All right. So this is the price: $60 outside, $80 for inside. This is how I'm gonna make that, right? $60, 7 cars per week, right? 10 cars per week, 14 cars per week. When I get to month 8 and 12, 35 cars. Remember I asked it to show me an increasing flow, right? Recommended equipment. It tells me where to buy all of them, right? The pressure washer. Now, put yourself, we're doing this as a training, right? Now put yourself, I don't know if one of you, I think one of you say restaurant, put of you in the shoes of somebody who wants to open a restaurant and don't know where to go, right? It even tell me where to go and buy my tools. What to buy: microfiber towels, tire shine, extension cord, portable water tank, and how much it's gonna cost. So it already break down for me the budget. Where am I going to find them? Well, you're going to find them on Amazon or Walmart. You know, get them from Costco or eBay, right? So there's tons of information that it's already put for me. And now finally, after it summarized everything that I need and everything that I asked and did not ask, it says, what do you want? I can start drafting a full business plan for you. Do you want a text or PDF version? I'll say, give me the PDF version. This, ladies and gentlemen, we have ChatGPT giving us a full business plan, a business name, the things that I need to run the business, the money is going to cost, the operation expenses, the revenue model. We got a domain name, we got a logo, we got what else we got. This is all within 2 hours, within an hour and a half, basically, of me talking and going through this. So it is writing the business plan, right, within 2 hours. Now, while it's doing that, think about your own business. Or if you ever wanted to start a business, right? If you ever wanted to start a business, now there's no time for excuses, right? I don't have time. I did this in 2 hours. In 2 hours. I mean, given that things like prompting and purchasing domain name, know what question to ask, you know, here, this, and there, know what tool to go to. You know, it takes a little bit, right? But within 2 hours, you know, I'm getting a business plan ready for me. Within 2 hours, I got the steps, you know, to start my business step by step. Where do I need to go? Who do I need to contact? How much is gonna cost me? What's the potential money I'm gonna make? How much can I make? What price to charge? Literally, your mind is literally what can stop you. Your mind and your imagination is literally what can stop you. Okay, let's see. It would finish with the PDF. I don't know if it gives me the ability to download it or if it puts it to a download. Well, now it's getting into flyers. I'm like, whoa, slow down, ChatGPT, you know, slow down. So I think this is the kind of the PDF version. Let's see if it allows me to download it somewhere. Yes, I can go and download in PDF. Okay, and I can open the PDF. Okay, here's my business plan with an executive summary of Pure Gloss mobile detailing with my target. Obviously, when I go and change, you know, what I need to change before I present it to a bank for funding, right? I'm gonna take out the ChatGPT logo, right? So my target market, my marketing strategy. There's some formatting things here. I know this is a table because I've used ChatGPT before and AI tools. So this should be a table. It should be formatted as a table. I can go and do that. Registration, funding, long-term vision, etc., etc. So I can even come back and say, you know what, remove some of the fluff and then prepare it for me to present it to a bank, right? Present, you know, have me present it to a bank so I can get for some funding. This is for me, but the other one is for a bank. So at this point of time, I'm gonna ask you, because we have about 5 minutes, I'm open to questions. Again, just to summarize, I've introduced you to ChatGPT. Don't simply use ChatGPT to, you know, hey ChatGPT, what's the direction? Hey ChatGPT, what's the cooking? You know, hey ChatGPT, what's, you know, right? You can have extensive one-on-one information with ChatGPT, right? Where you're guiding it between 10 to 20 suggestions, right? You're guiding it, you're picking, you know, something that you like, right? You're having it do an analysis on it, how much it would cost. You're having it do a logo for you, right? Suggest domain names. right? You're having it doing a logo for you. Have it modify the logo, right? Have it support a business structure, suggest a business structure, excuse me, and then have it producing a business plan, and all that within an hour or two of your time. You can take a week to do that within an hour or two. You can take a day. You can take 2 hours on a Saturday, on a Sunday, on any day that you're off of your current work and do this, right? We did it in less than 2 hours. So now I'm opening the floor. If there are any questions, before the questions, next time, we'll do a quick recap for the people who are not here. Again, I'm going to send you this through Zoom. I'm sorry, through your email. I'm going to send you the recording. We'll send a recap for people who are not here, a quick recap, but we're going to take this baby to a whole other level. We're actually going to create a website using another tool. We're going to create an AI agent so people can make reservation. We're going to try to go on Amazon to verify the prices of these products. We're going to make the business real. We're going to, next time, we're going to continue the planning. We'll do execution throughout the 6 or 7 webinars. We're going to go to marketing, right? We're going to market our business, right? We're going to see how many people are willing to make reservation on a business that is not operational, right? How many people can sign up to get their car detailed? We're going to create social media channels. And how can we automate these channels with AI? How can we have AI make us do funding and things like that, right? So, and you know, I'm hoping there's like a mobile detailing person in the group. Either now or next time, they can use this and run with it and come back and tell all of us the news that they actually went and make $100,000 in revenue using AI. Well, thank you once again. I'm waiting for a question. The Q&A is open for about 3 minutes for any questions that you may have. Okay, question. Am I gonna receive? Yes, I've mentioned that. You're gonna receive the recording. You're gonna receive a Google Docs document with the different links for the AI model, for the tools that I've used. Today, I specifically use ChatGPT. I've used Perplexity. And I've used a non-AI tool, which is Dynadapt. You will receive the link for these and where you can go and sign up for them. Again, free, except if you're buying like a domain name, then you can pay $7. Right now, the .com and Dynadapt is $7. Also, if you have any questions from now to Wednesday, you can shoot me an email or shoot me an email to the group or to the group, whichever area you came from. You can send me an email or send me a note. Another question. Okay, it's more like a comment. I'm not that technical, but I understood everything. Okay, good. Okay. That's a good point. One person asked, can we modify this to be like a online business? Let's see. Maybe next time we can have, I don't know, maybe we can become a platform where all mobile detailing cars can come and sign up and so yeah, that's a very good input. So maybe next time we can switch it around and see whether we can turn this into an online business or make it like always brick and mortar. Okay. On that note, thank you very much for your time. If you enjoy this training or this webinar, Let me put a poll, one final poll. Whether did you enjoy did you enjoy this? From 1 to 10, any feedback is appreciated. Got a few thumbs up if you enjoy this from 1 to 10. Next time, bring a friend, share the links, so that way we can learn more from each other. My name is Messman Augustine. Again, I don't do this training to sell you anything, but so that way I can teach you about AI, and hopefully I can help you on making your business a success. Thank you. Have a good night.